Baby, it's cold outside, and what does that mean? It means that our plants need some extra loving during these cold months. I'm going to show you a couple of my go-to methods for aerating the soil, cleaning the leaves, and making sure that my plants are in the best condition possible so that they can survive the harsh winter months. Stay tuned, you guys don't want to miss this. Welcome back, guys. I'm Asiyah. This is Asiyah's Plant Life, and thank you so much for being here. If you've been here before, I love you and thank you for coming back again and again. And if this is your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm happy that you're here, and I hope that you learn a wealth of plant and self-care tips and tricks and advice while you are visiting with me. Now for today's video, what are we doing today? Well, guys, I get a lot of questions, particularly on Instagram, about how I care for my plants and how I transition them into the fall and the winter months. And if you're a plant parent, you know that sometimes plants don't transition so well into the colder months. So if you're in Cali or somewhere in Florida or in the Caribbean, you don't necessarily have this issue. But for those of us that have 4 seasons or maybe just 2 seasons, winter and summer, we know that plant care during the winter can be a little bit cumbersome. So what do? 2 things. I make sure that I keep my leaves clean from the dust and the dryness that just circulates in the air because of heating vents and systems and things of that nature. And then I also aerate the soil. So today I'm going to show you how I clean my plants, the method that I'm using for aerating the soil to make sure that the root of the plant is getting enough oxygen and water and circulation of air around the root so that my plants can be healthy and thriving even when it's still cold outside. The same energy that we put into caring for ourselves, putting a little bit of extra shea butter on or body oil, making sure that our hair is moisturized and those roots for my natural sisters, those ends for my natural sisters are tucked in a protective style. We still have to do those same things for our plants if we want our plant babies to still be thriving and loving on us and giving us all the love that they do once we hit spring and summer of the next year. So I'm going to go ahead and show you first how I aerate the soil. And I will always aerate first because after I aerate, I'm going to clean the leaves and then I'm going to go in and water that plant and give it a big drink of water so that it is happy. And this is a process that I use periodically throughout the winter months or the late fall and winter months. I can't tell you exactly how often I do it because it's really just based on when my plants need it. Like right now, Fiona, my fiddle leaf fig, her leaves look horrible, guys. And being as honest and transparent as I can, she only gave me 2 leaves during the growing season this year. And it could be because we transitioned from Georgia to Tennessee. It could be because I've been so busy with work and with school that I haven't been giving them as much love as I normally do. Or it could be a number of things. Her leaves haven't been cleaned and I haven't aerated her soil. So I'm going to show you Fiona, and then I'm going to show you a few of the other plants that I have in the house that I'm going to be using this with. And I do it as needed. So for my nurses out there, PRN, as needed, I do it as needed. And you guys, when you start implementing these plant care regimens they're always as needed. Listen to your plant's love language. They're going to tell you what they need, when they need it, and how much. And when you learn that, then you just start to have this growing and thriving, lush plant space in your home or your office. So let's go ahead and jump into aerating, cleaning, and giving big drinks of water. So y'all know this is Fiona, this is my baby, and as I mentioned, this year I only got 2 new leaves from her, and they're the 2 newest ones right here. In a moment, I'm going to let you guys see the dust that is on her, and I'm going to talk about how this just affects the plant's health. It affects it during the growing season, and essentially if we don't clean our leaves and our plants, we can suffocate the plant and the plant can die. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what I'm using to clean and aerate the soil. Now, I did aerate the soil off camera this morning. I'm just gonna go in a couple of times and show you how I did it, but I'm not gonna do a thorough aeration because I already did it on Fiona, her soil this morning. So I use a bamboo stick for my larger plants or plants that have a root system that can withstand a bamboo stick going down into the soil. If you have a smaller plant, such as one of these succulents or just a starter plant that you have already planted, potted in soil, you can use something as small as a hairpin or a safety pin or even a paper clip to aerate the soil. Something this large is too big for this and will damage the root system. So just keep that in mind. For my larger plants, I'm using this bamboo stick. I'm also going to use today just a regular old kitchen cloth that's been washed and dried. Preferably you want to use a microfiber cloth because they don't leave any lint, but my microfiber cloths are washing right now, so I'm going to use this one. And then my mixture here is just tap water, a bit of natural, maybe I'll just show you, a bit of natural dish soap. So this is completely full, and I put about 3 drops of dish soap in here, and then about 3 to 4 drops of neem oil. If you put too much neem oil, you will burn the leaves of your plants. The neem oil doesn't necessarily help with the cleaning, but it does give them a nice shine after you have cleaned the plants with the water and the dish soap. All right, so the first thing I want to do is show you how I aerate the soil. You hear my dogs in the background. They don't have no chill when it comes time for me to do what I need to do. Now anyway, aerating the soil. Maybe you want to get in closer? Can you see it? Mm-hmm. So aerating the soil, I'm just going to take this bamboo stick and I'm going to poke down into the soil. Now, as you can see right now, it's going in very easily, but when I did that this morning, I actually had to use some force because the soil was so tough and so compacted that I realized the water, when I was watering the plant, was sitting on top for such a long period of time because it took so long for it to be able to seep down into this hard, almost brick-like soil. So just go down until you reach the bottom of the pot to make sure that you are making tunnels for the air and the oxygen and the water to make it to the base of your plant. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you that's how you aerate your soil. Use something, and of course it needs to be clean. So this is a bamboo stick, as I mentioned. I clean it off with a little bit of dish soap and water, and then I let it air dry in between using it on my plants. Or for this video, I'm just going to flip it around and use this side for the next plant since I've already used this plant. This side. But the thing to remember is make sure what you're using is not going to damage your root ball. You also want to make sure that anything that you're using on your plants is always clean and debris free, because you don't want to introduce anything to your plants that's going to harm your plant babies. So we went ahead and aerated the soil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz one leaf at a time with my plant mixture, which says plants only, so everybody in the house knows not to put any cleaning supplies in here. This is not used for our bathrooms. It's only for mama's plant babies. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to spritz each leaf individually, the top and the bottom, and then I am going to wipe it down with my cloth. So here we go. Babe, are you getting this? You all up on it? Mm-hmm. You all up on it? Yeah. Are you all up on it? Okay. Watch it. Mm-hmm. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I said spritz, guys. I ain't said kill the leaf. All right, there we go. So spritz the leaf. I'm going to do the top first. And then I'm just going to wipe it down gently, but I want to make sure that I'm getting all the different surfaces in between the nooks and crannies, along the vein, in the middle of the plant, and in any little pockets that the plant has. And if you take a look at this leaf versus this leaf, I don't know if you guys notice the difference, but there's a huge amount of dust still on the leaf that my left hand is touching versus the one that I just wiped down the surface of the leaf in my right hand. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of the leaf. And somebody might ask, why is it important to clean the bottom of the leaf when the bottom of the leaf is protected from dust? Well, that's just it. It's not protected from dust, especially with something that has such large leaves. These paddles collect dust and all types of stuff. I've seen my daughter's Barbie hair on here. It just collects all type of things. So you want to do both surfaces of the leaf, and you want to make sure that you're touching every spot. The key to this is being very, very gentle. You don't want to damage your plant. You just want to clean it, give it some love, and move on to the next leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one so you guys can see. This one, as you see on the edges, is browning, and I wish I could tell you the exact reason why fiddle leaf figs brown on the leaves. Sometimes it's overwatering, underwatering. It could be because they are getting too much sun. It could be a number of reasons, but what I found with my fiddle leaf figs is that with my fiddle leaf fig, I should say, not figs because this is my only one. With my fiddle leaf fig, I found that when the leaves start browning, those are usually my older leaves on the plant. The newer ones that come in don't necessarily get the browning. So I know for me, it's not necessarily a watering issue. It might be that those older leaves were exposed to the sun a little bit too much. So that's something that you want to try to avoid. So spray it down. This one I'm going to spray the top and the bottom with my mixture. And if you haven't noticed, there's such a small amount of dish soap in here that you don't even see any suds on the leaf. And that's what you want. You want just enough to clean it, but not enough where you're leaving a film, a soapy film on the leaf. And if you leave it a little bit wet, that's okay, as long as there are no puddles of water resting on your leaf. I just sprayed the top 3 because I'm going to go through and wipe them down for the sake of time in this video. And again, listen to your plant. Your plant will tell you when it needs this sort of care. This is not something that you need to do every single week or every time you water your plants, but listen to your plants and it will tell you, especially something with big leaves like this, like a fiddle leaf fig or a monstera or a philodendron. The larger ones, they will all tell you, hey, I need some loving. My leaves are looking kind of dingy, they're dusty, and that's when you know it's time to love on your plant baby in this way. I just realized I didn't show you guys the dish soap that I used in this, but I will include it in the description box if any of you are interested in exactly what I use. And I will also include a link to where I get the neem oil from. This is not any neem oil that was created for plants. It is a skin safe neem oil from a supplier that I used when I had my skincare company. And I found that it's a very high quality, and because it's skin safe, there are no additives or impurities, and that's what I like for my plant babies. So I will put those things in the description box so you guys can go ahead and grab them if you like. Okay, so I'm not going to do the whole plant on camera because that's just ludicrous and who wants to see that? But anyway, you guys got a good idea of how I clean the leaves on this plant. I'm going to show you how I use the same method for aeration on one of my smaller plants. I'm actually going to show you how I do it on one of my Marble Queen pothos. So come on with me. 3. So this is my Marble Queen, one of my Marble Queens, who is growing beautifully. She's been repotted once since I brought her home, and as you can see, she's growing beautifully, putting up new leaves. So the care that I've been giving her has been exactly what she needs. But still in all, I want to make sure that I give them that extra special touch as we transition into these colder months. So I'm going to show you the same method that I've used. My dogs are big. Walnut! Dogs are being so disrespectful, y'all. They are so disrespectful. But anyway, this is the same bamboo stick that I used on Fiona. I used this end on Fiona, and I'm going to use this end on my Marble Queen right here. And by the way, her name is Queenie, Marble Queen. I mean, really, that just makes sense, right? So same thing. Will you stop laughing at me? So same thing, and babe, you want to come in closer so they can actually see me go down into the...
I am in there.
You in there?
I'm in there.
You nasty. So down into into the plant, and the same thing, just gently. Now I did not do this one earlier, so as you see, there's a little bit more resistance. You don't want to damage your roots. You just want to open up the soil so that they can get what they need. So don't just jam them in there, guys, because you're going to tear your roots and your plant baby is going to suffer. You want to be very gentle with this process. And if you put the apparatus, whatever apparatus, I'm using big words today. Whatever you're using to aerate your soil, if you feel resistance, go ahead and stop and try to put it into a different area. Your plant doesn't want it there, and that's okay. So I'm just going in the spaces that the plant will allow me without any extra force. And because this is such a small plant, I don't need to poke as many holes as I did into Fiona. And then it's the same process again. I've aerated the soil, and I'll actually show you the big drink of water. I didn't show you on Fiona because I gave her that water earlier when I went ahead and aerated her soil. And for this one, because the leaves are so close together, I just give them all a good spritz on one side, and then I go in with my cloth and the same thing. Wipe it down, massage those leaves. Hey, Queenie, you tell your baby that you love her. Plants like to be talked to. They're living things, guys. Talk to your plants. Play music for them. Listen to them. They'll tell you all kinds of things. And just go on in and do the same thing. Again, it's okay if your plant is still a little bit wet. You don't have to wipe all of your cleaning solution off, but you don't want to leave any puddles or anything resting in the nooks and crannies of your plant.
That plant needs a Beyonce song.
What kind of song she need?
Already.
Which Beyonce song? Which
Already.
one? Which one is that?
That's
Sing
one
it.
of her newest ones.
Oh, well, I don't know. You know, I'm an old school Beyonce fan, so I gotta listen to the new
Well,
song
it
because
has
I
a
don't
Caribbean
think
flavor.
Oh, well, then you know I'm gonna love that because you guys know I'm like all the way Caribbean. A spicy mix of Panamanian, Jamaican, and there's a little bit of Bajan in there too. And then I'm born and raised in Queens, New York, so you already know what it is.
And you're married to an honorary Haitian.
Yeah, and I'm married to an honorary Haitian woman. So that's really it. There's a few more on this side that I didn't get to. I will get to those off camera and show you how I do them. But if you take a look at these leaves now, they look a lot cleaner, more perky, shiny, and beautiful. Much more beautiful than they did when we started, even though a marble queen is beautiful as it is. Now let me go ahead and move this ground turkey out the sink so you guys can see how I give it a big drink of water. And if you're watching my channel for a while, you know I'm a strong believer in baby bath water, warm water. Do not water your plants with cold water. It shocks them just as it would shock us if we jumped into a pool or the ocean of cold water. We want warm water for our plant babies. That's what they love, and that's how they thrive. So baby bath water warm. I'm going to turn on the shower setting. Okay. I'm going to give it a big drink of water. And when I say big drink of water, I want to see the water pool on the top. And once the water pools on the top, then I know it's had a big drink. And I will allow it then to sit and to drain. Once it's completely drained, then I will go ahead and place it back in its resting spot. So guys, that's it for this video. Go aerate that soil. Give your plant baby some water. Love on them, play your favorite Beyonce song, and tell those plants that, hey, we got a long road ahead of us through these cold months, but we're gonna make it through to the other side, and we're all gonna be healthy and whole. I love you guys. I so love making these videos for you, and I'm happy that you're here. I'll see you in my next video. Be sure to check out the description box for the 7th generation plant-based dish soap that I'm using. Also, if you want to know where I got these bamboo sticks, I will link to these on Amazon. And then I will also, what was the other thing I was supposed to link? Oh, my neem oil. Linking to the neem oil so you know where to get that as well. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see in my next video. And I will see you guys next week or maybe a couple of weeks. Y'all have a good week. Peace.